Hello, I've got a really fine old violin here. This is an old Mittenwald violin from around, I believe it's from around 1870 or so. And it's an old Mittenwald school violin that was made very well. Dark varnish like many of the old Neuner and Hornsteiner. The whole family used a lot of these patterns. The neck is typical Mittenwald, the scroll. The fine carved back of the scroll. They were plainish, but they were made super well, and they're pretty highly sought after by good players. I believe the pattern on this old violin is a Amati pattern, but it's what I think is probably from the Hornsteiner school or some derivative of that family of violin makers. This one does have a grafted scroll. And I believe it's from 1860 to 1870 time period. It has a nice dark varnish, nice back, and the varnish is worn. It's been played a lot, and it's a lot like Kenny Baker's old fiddle. I don't know if you can see the grafted scroll, but it's got nice fitting pegs. It's set up for fiddling for sure, but this is a violin that a classical player would probably enjoy playing too. It's got a very even tone, very resonant. It's very sweet, but it's not deep and dark like a lot of fiddles. It's got a very refined tone. really fine sounding old fiddle. It's I didn't do a whole lot of work to it to make it sound like it does. It needed some internal repairs, but as far as the graduations and everything on this old violin, it was made pretty well. So it's pretty original condition, the original varnish. It has a few little blemishes, but the violin is probably 140 years old. It's an oldie. The wear patterns up here, a classical player did play this violin, and it's worn here on the rib, which gives it a very authentic and cool look. But I believe it is an old Mittenwald violin. I don't think it's Neuner and Hornsteiner, but I think it's somewhere of that, some of the derivatives of that family, or possibly from that same school of violin making in that town. But the old dark brown varnish and whatnot makes me pretty confident that I'm correct on that. It's a nice old fiddle, has a grafted scroll, and it plays good. The action's fine. It's got a Despial France bridge. I don't know if I pronounced that right, so forgive me if I did, but it is a nice old quality bridge, blank, and it's got helicore medium strings. Again, this would be a good violin for a good violin player that wants to play some fiddle. It's set up for fiddling with kind of a little less than a classical curvature, but again, it plays good. Sings. It has a singing tone. Somebody that's a much better player than me can get a lot more out of it for sure. But it's clear. The notes are clear when you get down the neck or up the neck in the higher positions. They don't lose power. They're very clear and pure. So this is a nice old violin, an old Mittenwald school violin in good condition. And this is old violin number 202, 202, old violin 202, old Mittenwald school. Thank you.